This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. The flakes have been flying and some of us are in for some more snow. Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us right away with a first look at the forecast. Hutch?
Thanks so much, Stacy. Heading into the overnight hours, we have a band of snow that's working its way through. You're looking in on Grand Forks. We see the streets are covered. And as we said earlier, it's that slushy mixture, and many areas that are seeing snow picking up, well, a solid amount. And we are seeing on DOT cameras that things are covered up on many area roads. Now, the majority of the snowfall is exiting over the northern Red River Valley. It'll be moving into northwest Minnesota and western Minnesota now. Still rain way down to the south. Things quieting up for many of our western counties, with the exception of extreme northeast North Dakota from Langdon and Walhalla into Grand Forks, right along Highway 2, just west of town there, right into Emerado. You see the dark blues there. That's some heavier snowflakes, the big ones. We saw some of those big ones here in the FM area, and they definitely made some greasy roads out there. Slow down, give yourself time. Snow showers will continue to drift through places like Bagley on the way out towards Bemidji with reduced visibilities as those snow moves through. We could see that drop to a mile or less at times. We do have temperatures that are very cool right now, and that's going to cause some of this to freeze up. Here's a measurement from our studios outside just moments ago. 1 whole inch of snow, but it's deceiving. It's slippery, it's slushy, it's wet. Slow down. I'll have details on even more snow for the weekend ahead. First Alert Weather Days here in a minute.
All right. Thanks so much, Hutch.
You bet.
Homes are smarter than ever. Home security systems help catch thieves, but they actually do a lot more than that. Valley News Team's Alex Larson spoke to a home security expert to find out how they're being used.
It used to be one house on a block, and now there's multiple homes on a block, and you're just never free of a camera.
Lots of people have home security systems these days, but they're not just used to catch thieves anymore.
It's become a liability aspect. If people are slipping and falling on your property or dog bites, all been reviewed on video cameras.
Trinspin says being able to have proof of accidents inside or outside your home is invaluable for your insurance. But is one enough?
The thing we see a lot of the times, not enough cameras on the property, and the homeowners are trying to make out, the color of the eyes at a distance, for example. And there's ways you can do that, but it does require more cameras.
There's even a service that will back up your footage for you in case your camera gets stolen.
So there are ways we can record individual cameras here remotely or at off-sites. Throughout the country, we have contracts with multiple different places that are holding on to camera footage for us from multiple different cameras.
And if you're worried about strangers having access to your home security footage,
it's always that privacy aspect downtown, but I think people just got to realize you're on camera no matter where you are. So we've got that pushback quite a bit where I just don't want to have cameras. I feel it's the violation of our privacy and da-da-da-da-da. And I just really don't think you can go anywhere without being on camera anymore.
Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
Any house or apartment is able to have cameras installed. New tonight at 10, the Supreme Court is hearing arguments in a Mississippi abortion ban that could lead to the landmark abortion rights case Roe v. Wade being overturned. And today, we spoke to the head nurse at the only abortion provider in North Dakota. She says she has very little hope for Roe v. Wade and for her job here in Fargo.
What it means is that women do not get to determine their own destiny. They don't have bodily autonomy. And they're forced to carry pregnancies to term when either they don't want to, they can't afford to. Yeah, it would be devastating.
She says if Roe v. Wade is overturned, the Red River Women's Clinic will have just 30 days to close their doors. The Omicron variant of the coronavirus is here. The Minnesotan who tested positive is a man in Hennepin County who recently traveled to New York City for an anime conference. He developed mild symptoms on November 22nd and has since recovered. Today, President Biden unveiled his plan to head off a winter COVID surge. The big part of the plan, more vaccinations and booster shots for everyone eligible. The plan calls for distributing COVID treatment pills once they're approved and expanding free at-home testing. President Biden also extended the mask mandate for travelers until March, and all travelers flying into the U.S. will have to take a COVID test within 1 day of their departure. Dilworth, Minnesota could be getting a new fire station. Governor Walz is pushing to include that in his upcoming bonding proposal after taking a tour through the 40-year-old station earlier today. The fire chief says the cramped station has many safety concerns for the 30 volunteer firefighters who work there. They don't have a safe place to clean their equipment, which means they're taking carcinogens home with them, and the flammable system that fills their oxygen tanks sits in the same area as the fire engines.
Brings the community together, and a new fire hall would just let us serve our community that much better.
The proposal to approve the project is set for the 2022 legislative session, but even if it's approved, the fire station wouldn't break ground until 2024. Minnesota State Patrol has unveiled new body cameras set to roll out by next summer. Next week, 40 troopers will become the first to wear the body cams full time. It's the largest deployment of body-worn cameras in the state. Minnesota State Patrol chief says troopers are actually eager to wear the cameras to show off what they do. He says fail-safes have been put in place to make sure the cameras are on when they need to be.
In technology, so they have Bluetooth trigger devices in both their taser holster and their sidearm holster. So in the event that either of those are drawn, it automatically triggers the body-worn camera if for some reason it wasn't already activated by the trooper.
The U.S. Bureau of Labor says prices at bars and restaurants have gone up almost 5% since last year, and local restaurants aren't immune.
We used to be able to get a case of chicken wings for maybe $50, and then they were $140 to $160 for a while.
Rogenkamp says the restaurant business isn't like others, as prices can't be changed regularly due to being printed on menus, saying she only just raised prices for the first time since 2018, and most were only by 25 cents. The new Randy's Diner location in West Fargo is slated to open in February. Tonight, Rabbi Grossman of the Shabbat Jewish Center of North Dakota lit a Hanukkah menorah at the Fargo Civic Plaza. If you'd like to see it in person, the menorah will be on display for all 8 nights of Hanukkah at 1234 Broadway North. And a festive scene tonight in West Fargo. Families and business owners gathered as a Christmas tree lighting took place in the new downtown plaza. The whole area has just been revamped after months and months of disruptions. Valley News Team's Aaron Walling has more from the scene.
And I'm just so impressed with what they've done for the downtown area.
Denise Westland has lived in West Fargo since 1977 and has seen so much growth for her town. The city held a ribbon-cutting ceremony to celebrate the completion of the Cheyenne Street Urban Reconstruction Project, which helped with infrastructure such as sidewalks and the sewer systems.
It's just wonderful to have a great downtown.
City Mayor Bernie Dardis is one of many officials that oversaw this project come to life when it started in April. Dardis has been a part of the town for 4+ decades and has seen how far the community has come.
Well, West Fargo has always had that civic pride. It always has. I've lived here for 45 years now. And that's one of the things that drew me to it, because I come from a small town.
The improvements made on Cheyenne Street impact small business owners as well. Nicole Dutton is the owner of one of the businesses, steps away from the new plaza, Thunder Coffee. She says that this was an undertaking taken on by the whole community.
This community of West Fargo has always had that mentality of we're going to get through this together, and that's how we approached the road project. We all knew that this was going to be tough, it's going to be challenging, but it's going to be better for everybody in the long run.
District 13 Representative Austin Schauer explained what they set out to accomplish with improving the infrastructure of West Fargo.
3 things. Number 1, we want to improve our streets, roads, and bridges. Why? Because we have to, and we need them to be safe. Number 2, jobs. Good paying jobs for community, economic development. And number 3, community pride.
A joyous occasion here on Cheyenne Street. In West Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
That whole project was funded by a state grant and sales tax. Still ahead tonight, a charging decision expected soon for the parents of the teen suspected of shooting up his high school in Michigan.
And creative ways to send a message to the old weather team here. I guess grilling just went off the tables tonight with a little bit of snow making its way through the FM area. Also, Devil's Lake, Grand Forks, and Fargo all picking up some measurable snow. Slippery streets, more coming this weekend. A lot more for some. Details next.